any second now. Maybe. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh. Okay. There's lots to talk about tonight. Okay, all right. We're live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Political Head Trauma, where
If Head Trauma had a podcast, it'd sound like this.
heck yeah.
Thank you, Brian Schott.
Yeah. Where's he been these last few days or years?
Well, he got tossed off of the Tribune because he was offering to buy naughty books for high school girls. And the Tribune, I think, was happy. He was he was, I don't know, he says he was a Republican, but he was one of those Republicans that was rather heavy into pushing all the current trends. And so we'll call him at the very least a very liberal Republican, and he bucked the system. He didn't like the Republican Party, though he said he was a Republican. I think he said he was a Republican, my opinion, because he was here in Utah and he was trying to gain favor, or he was just trying to lie to me when we had our conversation. But neither here nor there. He offered to buy books that were not allowed in school libraries for school girls. And so the Tribune let him go. And I don't know what he's doing now. I hope whatever he's doing, he finds his true calling and happiness, and he can fully be himself and not have to lie to me or the people or anyone ever again. But that being said,
that was a tangent, but good for him. Gave us a catchphrase, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, let me play this intro real quick. Brought to you by KMMU.
Live from Utah's Wasatch Front, the pulse of the Mountain West, where the issues that shape your life meet the truth that sets you free. Across Utah, across the Republic, and around the world, welcome. This is KMMU.
All right. Perfect. And Jordan hopped on. He says, yo, hey, Jared and Holly, woohoo, party with Jared and Holly. Hello, my awesome people. Hello, Jordan. How are you, bud? Hope everything's going well for you.
Thanks for joining us, Jordan.
Yeah, tonight on the docket, we've got the usual government shutdown. EBT's about to be defunded or not be funded. They're not defunding it. It's just not getting re-upped. War with Venezuela, but I think it all pales in comparison to 31 Atlas. But what's on your mind, Holly?
Well, the EBT thing was on my mind for sure. Venezuela also on my mind, and the visit to Asia and the many stops that our president has taken. And I know he's got a big one coming up with China. But yeah, the Atlas one was interesting. I hear that one of the shows I listened to had the guy on their show, I think 2 weeks ago, where he said he was 10% sure that it was not a comet. And now he has risen that to 45% to 50% sure that it is not a comet due to the the way it's acting right now.
Are you talking Avi
So
Loeb? Is that who you're talking about?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, he's a Harvard astro physicist
Physicist.
guy, and yeah, he's been screaming from the rooftops. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and
Also,
NASA is not saying anything because of the shutdown, they say. Due to the shutdown, this information that was coming through from NASA has kind of stopped. So,
yeah.
what this guy's been doing has been on his own, and he's
Now
watching it closely.
I don't know if he's tied to NASA. Um, I
I
don't know
believe
if
he
he's,
brought it to their attention.
yeah, I don't know if he's officially tied to NASA. He might be. I don't know. I haven't, but anyways, um, yeah.
So
Where,
with the EBT thing, this is a huge problem. When there's a government shutdown, especially for this long, our military tends to not get paid. Other organizations like EBT aren't funded, the welfare state, and um, government employees, things like that. Um, the air traffic controllers are part of the government, and so they
that
anticipate a
gets
lot of
scary.
that's going to be a problem. Now, the thing is about the military is a private donor came in and donated 150 plus $1 million to Donald Trump, asking to cover the cost of the military for the month, whatever the balance was, and he covered it. And he's a billionaire. He didn't want to be named. I think they've gotten his name since, but he just wanted to do it to make sure our military was getting a paycheck. The EBT stuff, if you are on Twitter at all, or Facebook, I think even Instagram, you're seeing a meltdown happen regarding EBT. And the people are saying that if they don't get their card, they're just going to steal food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like now it's spreading like we should all do this. Well, and then they're giving word of advice: don't steal from mom and pop places, only steal from corporations. Like,
Well, there's
it's getting really
some of
ridiculous.
them has also said, don't steal from the stores, just wait outside. And when people come out, take from them. So be
That's
very
playing a
discerning where
deadly
you go
game.
shopping. What's that?
That's playing a deadly game.
That is in Utah. That's not in Illinois. That's not in, Virginia, New York. So be discerning on where you go shopping, how you go shopping. Go shopping in pairs. Um, just don't let your wife go shopping alone. If there is people out there who are in the mood to do stuff like that, protect your family. And then again, if you get held up, give them what you got. Let them take it. Push the whole cart into their hands. Get away. Humana. And yeah. But it is
I don't know. I think that it's a deadly game mainly because what method are they going to use to steal from you?
yeah.
If they're using a gun, that'd be very stupid in a state like ours. If they're using a knife, like how are they stealing it from people? And I can imagine that won't last very long before the public just decides they're over it, or stores decide they're over it and just shut down. If the theft gets to be like too much, who's to say that they wouldn't just shut down until this is all over? And the Republicans have been to the table on this multiple times, and the Democrats won't even meet them there at the table for the vote for nothing. They're offering nothing, no
Well,
compromise, nothing.
Yeah, the Democrats are fighting to get. So they stand at the precipice of the ACA of Obamacare falling on its face if they don't get that, however trillion dollars it is to keep bolstering it. And so they're worried that if they don't get that re-up, then it falls on its face. Then they'll be, without it being used, it'll be leverage to get rid of it, and maybe something else will come in. And the Democrats still feel like the ACA is a win on their docket. Of course, the Republicans want to get rid of it, so they're in a Mexican standoff over that. I agree with the Republicans. We need to get rid of the ACA. It was a poison pill from the start, but we'll have to see how that pans out.
Well, you need to have an alternative put in place already. If you're going to pull people off of that, they need to have an alternative in place already, either worked out with insurance companies, worked out with employers, or whatever that's going to be, where these people don't go without coverage and their bill doesn't triple like Obamacare did to all of us. Like our insurance tripled when Obamacare was put in place. So they got to have that. Right now, the Republicans just want to get illegal immigrants off of the insurance, the government insurance, which is an absolute no from the Democrats, which is crazy because that's what Trump ran on. If you're an illegal immigrant, you need to go home and you do not get any more government services and you stand in line with the rest. And with that thought, I mean, that mandate that he ran on and won by should not be surprising to the Democrats. And literally, they're only asking for 60 days because we're going to be back here in 60 days. We need to get a damn budget.
Welcome to modern government. You know what? I'm at the point where let's see how long we can go. Let's see what people build outside of the government. Let's see what states build outside of the government.
35 days is the record, I think.
We're coming close. But I say let's build outside of it. Let's show the federal government we don't need them. So states, step up. Let's have states step up and fund their people, take care of their populace. Let's lean into that 10th Amendment. And then we just tell the federal government, here you go, Democrats. You want to tell Trump he doesn't matter? Survive without him.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't matter. You want to tell your congressperson that they're ineffectual? Survive without him. Then they don't matter. Let states fund this. And then let states go to the federal government and argue, hey, I don't think our people should be paying you the taxes they are right now because you're not doing your job. So done with that. Maybe then the federal government quit getting us involved in crazy wars like the one we'll be talking about in a little while. Hey, I'm a 10th Amendment guy. Let's do it. Utah, step up. Come on, Cox, step up. Call your guys in and say, hey, how do we fund this? How do we take care of our people here? How do we find out who's on the road?
A lot of money.
It sure is.
That states don't have.
It sure is going to take a lot of money. Another thing that I haven't really heard many people talk about is what is this going to do to the grocery stores? Because, your Walmarts and that, I'll bet they've come to rely on what? 15% of their income being from SNAP and EBT?
Probably more.
If that goes away. So maybe that will upset the apple cart, maybe drive the inflation back down. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. That's my hope, but
I think it would drive it up, don't you? If people are stealing from those stores, they're going to have to raise prices.
It's not the stealing from the stores. It's people not shopping.
Well, people who are not having EBT will be shopping.
It'll be a dip in sales.
I think they'll have according to what I'm reading and seeing, they're going to have a lot of theft too.
They might.
And that dip in sales is going to be made up for in rising prices.
Maybe not.
Which is going to hurt every honest person who doesn't steal. It always has. It comes back on the people
okay. Now,
steal.
if thefts do rise, yes, it'll raise prices. I'm hoping thefts don't rise. I hope that's just idle threats on the internet from people trying to get TikTok clout. Jordan says, I'm on SNAP benefits, and I have to admit that I'm a bit nervous about starving and not having a roof over my head. But I tend to survive every day, and that matters. The government shutdown is crazy, but I think Congress and politicians shouldn't get paid either during the shutdown. But yeah, we are in interesting times.
Well, and I asked that of our congresswoman. Why should you guys get paid if you're not working? And if our military's not paid, and the services, the people who need the services that have paid into those services their whole lives aren't paid, how is it they get paid? And she said that would literally take an article, a change in the Constitution,
Yeah.
To fix that. And you know, I would really, really respect anyone who put that up there and brought it to the states to change the Constitution on that, because I don't think.
I'm sure that'd get passed right after they can't do the insider trading, and right after they don't get to vote on their own pay increases, and right after.
Well, constitutional change requires a meeting of the states to change.
Well, they can add it in on an amendment.
They could, but
I would have it written that
to change the Constitution, you need the states, and I think you could probably rally blue and red states to not pay our electeds while
I would have it
going on.
I would have it written in that a clean funding bill is put in every 6 months. That means no overruns, no deficits, none of that. Every 6 months, or you don't get paid. And I'd just put it like that. I would write it in that if I would write in all sorts of crazy stuff, like, if you guys get caught doing criminal activity, you spend double the time for any civilian that gets caught doing the same thing. I would make it's a volunteer position, and I would make it so that it's painful to get that position. That's why I think they should not be able to do any trading. They should be put on the thrift savings plan or whatever government employees have now for that subsides for their 401k.
Well, they don't vote for that. It's been put up by Josh Hawley, and it
I
didn't
know
go anywhere.
They're not going to vote on that.
They did vote that no member of Congress can vote on trading or invest on trading deals that they part of committees, but not their families. Their families,
their husbands and kids and parents and next door neighbor. Yeah, it's all crap. All of it. I don't. And how do you control for that? I mean, maybe when the AI overlords get here and next thing you know, we're governed by robots, maybe. But yeah.
Well, I have a funny kind of story to that.
Yeah.
McDonald's hasn't done their Monopoly game in 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah, they haven't.
They started the Monopoly game this year with a lot of caveats, because what was happening 10 years ago is they realized the staff there could lift up the little thing and see if it was a winner or not. If it was, they would keep that and give it to a family member, and the family member would turn it in.
I read about that.
It was rampant with cheating. So for 10 years, they just stopped it. So now they brought it back. But this time, not only if you work at McDonald's, you can't win, but if you are related to a McDonald's employee, and they go out pretty far, you can't win. So if McDonald's can do that to protect their $1 million prize and the multi-thousands of dollars in gifts, why is it that our Congress can't do that?
Oh, our Congress can. Our Congress won't. Look,
well, it's because they don't look at the money of the taxpayers as real money.
Well, it's not just
real profit for McDonald's.
It's not just that, but Maxine Waters is not a multimillionaire because she's a congresswoman or because she's even nominally smart. Because she is not nominally smart. She's a multimillionaire because she knows what the maneuvers in the market are going to be tomorrow. Nancy Pelosi, all of them, all the Republicans, all of them. The only good ones are the ones like Josh Hawley when he says, look, I gave up all of my mutual funds. I gave up all of that. He put his money where his mouth is, and he's just living off what he makes there. Now, granted, he may be lying when he says that. Maybe he's got, a neighbor that does it for him. I don't know. But at least he's, pretending. They don't get rich because they carry value for us. And they're not going to become multimillionaires on $175,000 a year.
No. You can barely afford to live in DC for that.
Yeah. So we need to figure that out. I mean, I've got lots of ideas. I don't think they should live in DC. I don't think they should. I would much rather that each state maybe buys a little apartment complex or apartment or a house there, and they live in that, and the state provides that for them. I would rather systems like that.
A nice sofa bed in each of their offices.
Sure.
And make sure they got bathroom access. I'd be all for that. And a lot of them, like Mike Lee, and I know Jason Chaffetz used to do it. I know that Tim Burchett still does it. Just stay in your office and go home to your home when you're done.
My favorite is Thomas Massey. He drives an old F-250 that has a camp trailer on it, and he lives in that while he's there. And he's been busted by the cops a few times because they're trying to not let him camp out in parking lots. He talked about it openly.
I am for it. I'm for them saving money. And I
100%.
bet the people of DC would love it too, just because the people of DC are priced out of homes because it's the wealthiest neighborhoods in the country.
Well, and that's not because of our Congress people. That's because of our lobbyists. And that's another thing we got to rein in. That's the wealthiest county on earth. Honestly, those are the people that I heard it put today on a podcast, Fleckus Talks. He says, if a wall is ever built in the U.S., it'll be around them, between us and them. They will wall us out. They're the ultra wealthy. But anyways, so EBT, I'm hoping that they come to a solution. I guess the Republicans have brought single standing funding EBT bills to the floor, just separating that and brought that to the floor, and the Democrats have refused to vote on it or have voted no. So that's a concern. I think the Republicans need to scream that loud and proud. They need to, every Republican right now needs to pull the video of that off of C-SPAN and put it on their Facebook, on their Twitter, on their Instagram, on, I don't know what out there, Grinder and whatever. Put it everywhere. That needs to be brought out. That should be played over and over. They just need to do that. They need to send that out in mailers and emailers and everything else. They need to let them know if the Republicans don't want to take blame for this. Because right now, everyone thinks that Trump specifically shut that down. And I'm not one that's going to sit and say Trump's the greatest. He's done a lot of things that's given me a little consternation. But on this, I don't think that, I don't think he had anything to do with any of it. And I mean, it's a congressional issue. It's where it started. So we'll just have to see where that goes. But 31 Trump, Atlas. Oh, go on.
The thing about this is messaging's always been an issue with our party. I can honestly say that. I think the messaging, though, is getting through because one of the polls I've recognized, I think it was a CNN poll, the gentleman on CNN that gets really animated and he talks positively about Trump, and you can just tell the people
The
hate
guy
him,
that
but
he looks like he's a weather reporter, but it's in front of a big
yeah,
polling screen. Yeah, yeah.
his poll shows that Democrats actually believe the Democrats are the problem.
Well,
And their polling has just done this, and Trump's approval has gotten higher and theirs is dropping. And that's polling Democrats. And more importantly, independents.
that's
Independents, majority believe this shutdown is because of Democrats. So that's huge.
that's
That's
the
who they're
important
going
one.
for.
Yeah, the independents dominate everything.
And David says, what will happen without government?
Oh,
We still need government, but he's suggesting our state government. I don't know how that looks when a state starts to run their own medical EBT type situation. I don't know where they would get the funding unless they pull it out of taxes again and raise taxes, which usually will be property tax or something that is, easy to get for a government. I don't know. I don't know how they would do that. It would have to be, maybe a rainy day fund could be used for something like that for Utahns on EBT,
that'd
but that would
float
also
him
put us at
for
risk.
how long would that float him for? We could probably float maybe 2 months, but we'd have to go back to the negotiation table with the federal government and say, hey, look, our people are done paying these high federal taxes to you. You've proven to be incompetent. And, but that would take a universal. That would take something that all the states do that all at once. You couldn't have one state do it. Then that one state becomes a target for the feds. And I know I'm talking crazy person talk here, but that's kind of where we're at. David says,
if I hunt in the forest with the government turned off, do I get in trouble? And the answer, if there's no government, then no.
Well,
as long as you don't kill anybody.
Yes, you do, because your fishing game is state run. So yes. But
I'm talking all the government.
Yeah, how would it be? How would it be? I should have brought my head in here. I'll show you my head. Here, keep talking for a minute. I'll go grab it.
Do you remember when the government was shut down under Obama, everybody? And he actually hired people to block the World War II memorial in DC and other memorials that are located outside, free to the public to just walk through. And he actually hired people to blockade it. Do you guys remember that? It was so insane. And I think that's when it went 35 days. But that was Obama. And the states ended up opening up their state parks and stuff, even with the shutdown. The federal parks were open in Utah. I went to Zion's during that time.
Well, the passive federal parks, Gettysburg stayed closed the whole time, and my dad went back east to visit my brother and couldn't get into Gettysburg. That man ain't never recovered.
That they actually had blockaded the World War II Memorial and Washington Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial. These are memorials that stand open all the time. You don't even have park people there. He had to hire people to come in and blockade them. And a bunch of World War II vets rolled up and went through the blockades during Obama's time.
He did it particularly to punish people. The Democrats, trust me when I say this, the Democrats are vile and scummy because they do this stuff to punish you. Remember that. When Obama shut that down, that was to punish you. But look at this. This is my antelope I got back. It's beautiful. It's a very wide antelope. I don't know if it was old or what, but most of them, they're more in line with each other. This one's very wide. Interesting, but
it looks a lot smaller than I remember.
Not very tall. Not a big one, but quite wide.
So David, yes, Congress does still get paid. And I brought this up to our congressperson, to Celeste. I said, why the heck are you guys getting paid when our military and other services are not paid? And she said, we don't have a choice. It's constitutional. In order to make it stop, we'd have to change the Constitution. And I'm saying, if we wanted to get the states together, that's kind of what it takes to change the Constitution. And we could probably get blue and red states together to vote to not pay these people that are actually causing the shutdown, not pay them a dime until they get back to work. And that's it. They still get paid.
I would write so much other crap in there, though. I would have it written. I'd have so much crap written in there. But honestly, I'd have written in there.
One-page bill so that it was so cut and dry, no court, nothing.
I would write in. I would write in the stuff about insider trading, term limits. I would write so much crap in there. That'd be the crazy thing. We're all going to meet up just for this, right? And then, I think everyone would agree. Yeah, term limits. Let's do it. Everyone would agree.
So would you want a term limit, Thomas Massey?
Yes. Just for the simple fact of, well, here's the question. If we do away with that insider trading, maybe term limits won't be that important. You won't need them that much. But then I would have written in that you can't become a lobbyist for 10 years after.
Well, a lot of them are sitting on
you
boards.
Can pick the one you want.
Like millions.
You cannot go work for an entity that receives money from the government for 10 years after. And that's pick your poison. I would also write in that
you have a better chance of canceling insider trading than, and that's kind of what Jared had said early on.
Yeah, and I would write in there. No more health insurance for life, no more retirement for life, no more none of that stuff for life. I would write in that this is a job you sign up for, just like the military. You sign up, and when you're done, we give you a DD 215, and we cut you loose, and you go about your business. You become a private citizen again. Because how much are we paying for that? They've slush fund. They have slush funded themselves into. I mean, even if they go in there and don't insider trade, and they go in there for 2 years, they're set. That's all they ever have to do.
I think Congress needs 4. For the Senate, it's just 1 Senate.
Sure. Okay, 4 years. They go in for 4 years and they're set forever? Huh. No, it's BS. Our state reps don't get that deal. And then we should also talk
about protections that are offered to people long after they're out of the military or not military, out of the government, that have all this Secret Service protection. Mm-hmm. Not ex-presidents. I understand that could be a big deal, but look at all the people that had security from the Obama camp and from Biden's camp that they were just going to have forever. It's like,
what? How much they love spending other people's money. But that's all I have to say about it. Got anything else on the Dennis says,
as far as EBT goes, everybody, I'm praying for you that you can find means to feed your family.
100%.
Hopefully, I mean, we're going to hit hard times, and this goes for everyone. Make sure you've got the staples in your home: the rice, beans, flour, bread, things that you can survive on until we get through this hard time. But make sure the messaging is out there. If you're struggling, food banks are going to be used really, really a lot. So donate to your local food bank if you have anything to give. They are doing Food Bank Acceptance Day. I think it's today or tomorrow, but the food banks in your local area always accept food as long as it's packaged. And I don't even know if they care if it's expired as long as it hasn't been opened, but they take canned foods. They'll take noodles and pastas and things like that, boxed foods. So if you have some stuff in your pantry that you want to donate, I would just get to your local food bank, just because we know our neighbors are going to be struggling. Yeah. And it would be very, very helpful.
And if you're staring down the barrel of this being a possibility for you over the next few weeks, next time you go shopping, buy a couple bags of rice and a couple bags of beans and just have those there just in case. I do that for myself, and I just rice and beans. That's a holdout. I throw them in a bucket and they sit down in the basement. And then when I'm home on a weekend by myself, because I'm the only person that eats them, I'll make rice and beans and then buy it fresh, but I mean, that's about as cheap a staple as you can get and just have it shelf life down there.
Yeah. And I hate beans. So I buy canned vegetables and do rice and vegetables. And then I just put in like soy sauce and try to make like a stir fry. But if you can donate,
whatever you can
please
do. David says, in the golden temple of Amritsar, you hold your hand out and they plop a scoop of wet oatmeal substance into them. No one goes hungry. Yeah, it's tough. I do hope they get this EBT thing sorted out. It is a huge Gordian knot hanging over our head right now. We gotta get it sorted out and get it solved. I think moving forward, I'd like to see states take it over, pull it out of the hands of the federal government. The federal government's too far removed to be trusted with something that important. So, you want to talk 31 Atlas?
Just like healthcare, this is something to show you people. Just like healthcare, when the government is in charge of your healthcare, in charge of when you eat or where you live, they can take it away. That should terrify everyone, because government is not meant to be in charge of your healthcare or your food or your housing. These things can be taken away so quickly. And I know if it's just bad policy, if it's, we're just shutting down the government because of bad policy, the government should be looking at budgeting, and they should be budgeting. And I know the goal is to get illegal people off of these because they're not paying into them. You are. And at the same time, churches and food banks, those should be the answer to these problems.
Well, even the state, I think the state would be better at it than the feds. And then I think counties would be better than the state. But ultimately, churches would be ideal. You got someone that can check up on you, someone that can, but I don't know. I'm afraid that this stuff's not going to be solved from the federal level until we hit an ultimate crisis.
I have to move some stuff around.
Move some stuff around.
Sorry.
I want to talk about 31 Atlas. So, okay. 31 Atlas is a comet that is okay. Of course, Dave says somehow labor camps fit into the equation. Yes, Dave, they might. But 31 Atlas is a comet that is extra solar system, means from outside our solar system. And they think it's billions of years old, like as older than our sun. And it's careening in. It just got what they call, I'm learning lots of words by watching stuff. Perihelios. Huh? How's that for a word? That means that it's
nailed it.
Close to the sun or behind it. Anyway, so it's coming out around the sun. It's giving off, I think it's off gas. Its tail is CO2 instead of H2O, which is different than all other comets that we know of. Also,
wait, you say it's coming out behind the sun, our sun? I thought it was in a different galaxy.
No, it's coming through our solar system, but it just went perihelios, which means it just went behind our sun from us. So our sun's here, it went over like that. We're looking at it. So it's in our solar system, about to do a flyby Mars, which if it's aliens, maybe it's there to check up on its Mars civilization that is no more and has possibly moved here for all you conspiracy theorists. The other ones, it might be the lizard people. Anyway, so it's off-gassing. Its tail is CO2 instead of H2O, which most of them are H2O, or all of them are H2O. I don't know. Avi Loeb is the guy I listen to on this.
How do they know?
Oh, they use a light spectrum, so different chemicals and stuff give off, they blank out different lights in the light spectrum, different colors. And that's how they tell what, according to them. I've never done this. I don't know. According to them, they look at it through the different light spectrums, and whatever light it reflects or blocks will tell you what its chemical makeup is. Also, it's off-gassing nickel, which, according to Avi Loeb, the only time in the universe that we've ever seen off-gassing of nickel is in our industrial forges. So that's why Avi Loeb says that this is an alien ship. Okay, Dave says a spectrometer.
Now, Avi Loeb is also saying he thinks it could be. He's now about 45% sure.
Yeah, this is a Harvard astrophysicist. Now, also, let's remember Project Bluebeam. While this comes in, maybe they're setting us up for a little bit of world peace through holograms. Either way, NASA's not saying nothing on it, which is interesting. Of course, they've got the whole shutdown as an excuse, but this has been coming for a while. We've heard talk about it for a while. But, you know, today and tomorrow are the days that, you know, if it is something wild, that's when we're really going to find out.
So if you think it is 1 billion years old, you said?
They think it is. Jared thinks only what Jared hears, because Jared doesn't have a telescope that can see it. Jared doesn't know any of the science around it. Jared can only parrot what smart people say. That's all I know.
And it's not on track to come close to the Earth?
No, it's not in a keyhole window. Well, he did say that if it does get slowed down, though it appears that it didn't, but if it does get trapped in the gravity of the sun, it could use the sun to slow down, to change its trajectory, but it doesn't look like it did. I'm not sure though.
I just heard that he said that he noticed a difference in its pattern, that it did somehow slow down.
Okay,
and then
maybe
accelerate in a different direction.
Yeah, see, now that's
what made him change it from 5% chance of being a ship to 45%, 50% chance it's a ship, because they've never seen one act that way.
The aliens are here. So, me personally, I'm going to keep up on my Kegel foo. Keep that ready to go. I'm not going to let him take me. It's
Your
about
Kegel foo? What?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
never
make
mind.
Sure when the aliens want to stick the old sucker in me, I've got the Kegels ready. I can bite a finger
men
off.
Have Kegels?
I don't know, but sure. I imagine they do.
Okay. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Either you're telling me men have Kegels or you're not a man. Whichever one. I accept you and love you.
Thank you for your acceptance. My pronouns are
the, she, it.
I'm sure men have Kegels. It's just a muscle group. That's all it is.
Okay. It takes
Kegel foo,
anything I can point to.
That's a martial art you use to fight aliens.
All right.
You know, practice it. Do it in a hack squat, things like that. You know, things like that.
I'm doing it right now.
Huh? Yeah, me too.
So David says they've only ever seen 3 of these objects, so they don't have much data.
Yeah, that's...
David, have they seen objects do what this one is doing, though, as of recent reports?
I don't know. Technically, I think it's called 3I Atlas, but everyone calls it 31 Atlas. Is that correct? Atlas is the telescope that first found it, or the program. It's like asteroidal something protection, whatever, near protection. That's where Atlas, it's an acronym. And 3 is the third time, and I is, I don't know. I'm not sure. Smart people come up with all this, and I'm excited for the aliens to come. If they say, take me to your leader, where do we take them? It's a local leader. You want like the global leader? What do you want? Dave says not the other two. So anyways, all right. So 3-Eye Atlas, the aliens are on their way. Maybe they'll bring world peace. Maybe it'll be, like, I don't know. Who knows? Exciting stuff. It's been traveling through the cosmos forever. And then, you got anything else on that, Holly?
Just that they're, Avi Loeb has said that it could be an alien spacecraft. They're based on observation of what some interpret as unusual characteristics, such as its trajectory and the presence of a strange anti-tail, followed by a more typical tail formation. And Loeb notes that the object's trajectory is linear and close to planets, and it displays non-gravitational acceleration that he suggests could be indicative of propulsion.
Also, it's lined up perfectly it's got the perfect alignment for this time of year to do a flyby of all of the planets. Something like that.
And
like it was
says
aimed.
That there is no threat for this to impact the Earth based on its trajectory.
Jeff says,
but if it has any ability to change its trajectory, what's to say that it doesn't?
Hey, that's free. Jeff says Spencer Cox is already calling the aliens New Americans.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
well,
that's a good one, Jeff.
I'm curious how would we react to an alien encounter? Would we go to war with them? Would we hear them out? Would we disagree better? Like, I don't know what's their intentions. And speaking of war, I would like to get into, it's more than just the Venezuelan drug boats that we're talking now. Trump has also said that he's ready to go to Congress to get their vote to support us going to war with Venezuela.
To support a regime change in Venezuela. Boy, we're good at those things.
Are we? And you know what? I'm so sick and tired of us bombing the crap out of countries and then giving it back to them and paying for the rebuild. You know what? Let's go to war like war's meant to be. If you're going to take us to war and we decide to go to war with Venezuela, and we win, then we own Venezuela. Period. The end. It becomes an American colony. None of this. We're going to turn your country to glass with one of our big bombs. Then we're going to come in and rebuild it, and so you guys can wreck it all over again. Tell me how I'm wrong there.
No, you're 100% correct. No, look. What are we just trying to get at the crude? What is the reason for doing this? I mean, I get it. Trump has a lot in his cabinet that are ex-Latin or that are, from Latin America that are, expatriated from countries that went communist or their families historically are. But what do we have to gain here? Yes, I feel bad for the Venezuelan populace. They're in a terrible way. Everything else. Ideally, can't we get the neighbors of Venezuela to put pressure on them if they want to? And if they don't, that's fine. What does it matter to us? Are we just concerned that by having Venezuela there, because yes, China's got close ties with Venezuela right now, a lot like the Soviet Union had with Cuba. Are we worried that that'll be a footprint for China? Because I'm sorry, Biden already gave the footprint to China. He gave it to them with the open borders. They come up through the Darien Gap. They got here. They're already here. What do we? Why?
Trump
Why?
is saying
What?
it's the drugs and the drug cartels, which have been deemed terrorist organizations, and drugs are coming by boat and by air out of that country, and that's why they're bombing these boats. But listen to this:
Keep the
on the boat
interdiction
that
going.
bombed, 11 people were bombed on a boat, and a few survived. One was from Colombia. Well, they sent him back. One was from Ecuador, I think, and they sent him back. Well, the Colombian government had no charges or evidence against him, so they just let him go. So here we are bombing these boats just nonchalantly, which I'm uncomfortable with, to be honest. But again, I'm assuming they know more than I do. Of course, I just don't like this no trial or no evidence to find, like bombing these boats. And then now we're talking of going to war, and Trump would use congressional approval to do it. He's got enough warmongers in Congress that are ready to go. If Lindsey Graham tells me it's a good idea, I can't think of a worse idea ever. He just wants to go to war. Or the guy from Texas that has the patch.
Yeah.
He wants to go to war. Like, are you kidding me? You want to send our kids over to fight a war in Venezuela? For what? Do we get the country if we win?
Even if we do, what do we get? We get
oil. We get oil.
We get a huge burden. Jeff had made another
joke.
joke.
One of the biggest. That's one of the richest countries in the world.
Was.
And
well,
it was. But they've got oil, they got minerals.
It's resource
China
rich, but it's human retarded. I mean, poor. Jeff Adams, going back to 31 Atlas, he said, they heard they can get a CDL, talking about the aliens.
And David said China, he says labor camps in Venezuela. So
yes,
David
they do.
brings up labor camps more than Bitcoin these days. And then David also says China has bases there. Yes, and they are an ally. And before we declare war on China, you need to clean them out of South America or America itself, because we've got a lot here that came up during the Biden administration.
How much, like how many Chinese special forces are in our country?
We don't know, but we know they were a regular group that was constantly crossing the southern border.
Yeah, if you guys haven't followed Michael Yon, you really need to. That's MICHAEL YON. His stories on the Darien Gap are, they make you really think. Well, what they do is they make you go out and buy more ammo, and if you haven't yet, an Armalite rifle.
The drug cartels were afraid of the Chinese groups that were coming up through the Darien Gap. They had their own tents. They had their own armed security.
Mm-hmm.
The drug cartels didn't touch them.
They had their own camps.
These are people in our country.
Yeah. And the cartels wouldn't mess with them.
Pots. Have you seen the honeypots that have been warned to Silicon Valley? And even Elon Musk made it about this story. He's like, if she's a 10 and you're not, she's a honeypot. Yeah. A lot of these women from Russia, China are going after the Silicon Valley guys. I mean, they're even marrying them, having children with them.
All for country.
Only to give that information, especially the AI development information, to China.
Yeah, and that's where we're hitting. I mean, man. Oh, exciting times are ahead. You know, sometimes it's good to be poor and ugly. That is one of them. No honey.
I don't know. honeypots have been around forever.
Of course they
And-
have.
And then you don't even have
Swalwell.
to involve government. You've got women who might be a 10. They want to date a billionaire. Wow, big surprise. Like, wow. They don't even have to be attached to any government. That's just women in general. They want someone who's wealthy that can take care of them and all of that. I don't know. It's just a weird time we're living in, and this potential war talk with Venezuela just feels like it's something bigger that has China written all over it. So I'm curious what Trump and Xi Jinping are going to discuss when he visits China. Because in Japan, he was treated well, got one of their greatest honors from Japan. He has a great relationship with the female there.
Their new prime minister is hardcore.
Yeah. I don't know about the other visit he had with, where was he? Vietnam or?
I don't know.
No, South Korea. South Korea, people are saying that it was almost like his visit was almost like they were giving him all these honors, but it didn't feel sincere.
Oh, it could be. It could be. I don't know. It's been a long time since I was over there.
Well, maybe it's because he visited with the Butterball in his last term. Maybe
could be.
Like that.
I heard that South Korea and North Korea are starting to normalize relations a little more. That could be it. It could be that South Korea's starting to pull away from us just because the dollar is starting to show more cracks every day. Every day the dollar is getting weaker. They have our government, our illustrious leaders have weakened our currency to the point where one day it's going to happen. One day a group of nations is going to quit trading in dollars, and that will be that'll be a rewrite of history, to be sure. It'll be.
So that's what BRICS is doing right now, right?
Well, that's what they've been trying to do. The good news is the BRICS nations, none of them trust each other. I mean, you've got India and China on the same group. India and China they're not friendly at all.
Right.
So, but yes,
so what if we went back to the gold standard? Gold is at 4,000 an ounce right now.
I know, it's crazy.
What if the government decides to go to a digital currency, our government, and start a digital currency, like XRP or Bitcoin or something like that?
It'll devalue us overnight. They will steal all of your wealth. That's what will happen.
Well, that's my question. What if the government isn't I don't think they care other than being the wealthiest nation. So perhaps they put their own out there, their own currency out there, and use that across the world.
Maybe.
Because I know digital currency is on the list of things Trump
if they go to
discussed.
digital currency, it'll be a global digital currency. So the whole world goes over at once. It won't be a single nation dominance.
Well, if they went back to the gold standard, would the United States have the most?
No, I don't think so. China's been buying gold like crazy over the last handful of years.
Saudi Arabia, too. They have a lot.
Yeah. Dave says, I don't think you will be alive to see the dollar fall. I hope not. I hope not.
Dave, how come you're not bringing up Bitcoin ever? You always labor camps with you these last few weeks.
Now he's bringing up Dave Coin. He's bringing up Dave Coin.
Aha. I miss Dave.
I don't know. I don't know what we're looking at. I don't know. I hope we don't see the dollar fall. I hope and pray. Yeah. So this Asia trip, he went to Japan and South Korea. Did he go anywhere else?
I'm not sure. I know he is planning on China, and I think it's Friday.
Okay.
But I'm not sure exactly. Did you see that he had to take the short stairs when he flew into Florida to go home last week because they found a built stand in a tree
Oh, I
stand?
heard that. Yes. Yes,
A
like
sniper
across the
scope.
street, it was a deer
Yeah, the
stand.
airport.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we looking at here? We got the left is losing its mind. It's starting to do crazy actions, like crazy people stuff. Like honestly, what do they think happens if what they did to Charlie Kirk has already put us on edge? And if they kill Donald Trump, do they think that are they begging for like open violence in the streets? Because that's what it would end up being.
There'd be like a revolution. Yeah, it would be crazy. Especially the people that get online and start celebrating an assassination attempt or something on him. You would see people. I really think you'd see people lose their minds on the right and say enough is enough.
Seriously, I'm at that point right now. Like, don't come up to me on the street and try to tell me your leftist stack of whatever I've got to do to keep you happy. You might get kicked in the chest. My tolerance is at zero for that.
Yeah. So Trump is meeting Xi, right? Oh, he's slated to meet with Xi in Busan, South Korea.
Okay.
And he has said that I think we're going to have a deal, meaning that he's willing to lower tariffs on Chinese exports to the United States. Tensions escalated with Trump threatening to raise tariffs on Chinese products to 100%. And he strongly criticized newly unveiled trade restrictions China has placed on rare earth minerals, which are key for modern technology. So that's what's gotten him angry. So I'm trying to see if he's meeting now.
Dave says he thinks they're going to Thailand also. Fred says there's nothing more the communists wants than increased violence. That is true. 100% true. Jeff says, glad I'm on the side that clings to their guns and Bibles. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
For all you people that didn't take your armory boating a month ago, man, you're lucky.
Mine was back in 2000. What year did Biden win? Because I had one in 2008 and then another boating accident in 2012.
Keeps happening.
In 2016, I was like, oh, great. I'll get a new one. And then immediately 2020, boating accident. So,
it's tough that we just can't seem to learn that lesson.
Okay, so while abroad, Trump inked deals with Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Japan, and South Korea before his Thursday sit down with Xi. So that'll be tomorrow.
That'll be
trillions
tonight.
of dollars. Yeah, so he's bringing trillions of dollars back to the United States after this visit.
Outstanding. Jordan says we need a strong libertarian guy to get into the Senate or Congress. Spike Cohen is an amazing libertarian. Defend liberty. I do like Spike Cohen. Chatted with him a few times. Very decent man. I don't think Spike wants to get into government again. I think right now Spike's doing his I gotta remember the name of his. If you go to spikecohen.com, you can find it. But he's got a movement where he goes around the country and he helps. They help out. Mostly, it's legal things when the police have overstepped or when the state has stepped on a person. They go around like they've gotten kids back when protective services erroneously took children. There was a homeless vet that the police took into custody and killed his dog, and they helped him out. First, they won his case. They found him a place and got him a new service dog. So Spike's going around doing that. And I have to say, he's probably doing far more good than he ever would in politics. Okay, Fred says destabilization is a step in the Marxist process. Yeah, it's one of their in their ladder. Seriously, I mean, that's what Soros has been doing. That's why he supports getting all those leftists into. He's been targeting DAs specifically, and that shows you what he's been doing by getting DAs in that let criminals back out on the streets. That is 100% destabilization. They're making a low trust society. That's all they're doing. It's just perpetuating this low trust society.
And that's something that Soros was focusing on. A lot of his money went to DA elections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he didn't care. He didn't care about governors as much, or senates or state senates. He focused mostly on DAs, district attorneys, because he wants.
Fred knows what I'm talking about, because in law enforcement, officers can have a rock steady case. They've investigated. They have all the evidence. Hell, they can have it on videotape. They take it in for the prosecutor, and they decide not to prosecute. And if it gets any type of attention from the press, and they do prosecute, they end up giving them a sweetheart deal that gets them out in a year. And this even includes child
predators, murders,
child molestation. Yeah,
just ask little Ukrainian girls on the subways, on the buses. You know, how does it work out when you have a DA that gets in there, or not even a DA, just a POS, corrupt judge who believes in bringing justice to the brown person at any cost. And that's what happened.
I mean, 8 different courts. I mean, the man was arrested so many times, and they didn't want it to be their problem because the man needed mental health. Mm-hmm. His own parents were afraid of him.
Yeah. And now the man's probably going to get the chair.
Keep him in a jail, rather than just keep him in a jail or put him in an asylum of some sort. No, he gets to be free and murder an innocent girl on a train in front of tons of people.
Yep.
He's the victim.
It's a tragedy. 100% a tragedy.
And it could happen to any one of us.
Yeah.
For what? For what? What on earth? People, we need to make asylums great again. MAGA all the way.
Make asylums great. Massa. or
no, it's MAGA.
Oh yeah, make asylums great again.
And
yeah,
Jeff
you're right.
Is absolutely right. When Jeff says no, Soros used his money to start NGOs that received and used our money against us. Absolutely.
That is true.
Those NGOs were not only used against American people with our own money, but they were used to cause uprising and protests and everything in the streets that changed cities, that made them dangerous and unsafe, that created dangers, like real dangers against white people or Jewish people or police officers or judges. Like, all this was funded. I'm curious, once these NGOs got figured out and defunded under Elon Musk's group, is Soros back to funding them himself, where there might be a paper trail, or what's going to happen?
I I hope Trump can actually go after Soros. I hope he can get him. We need to actually have trials for USAID. Figure out where that went. Figure out who was involved with it. Who knew? Because it was a crazy setup. We would give money to USAID. USAID would send money to Soros because Soros had gone around somewhere and disrupted their community. But they'd also peel off a little bit and give it back to Act Blue, and Act Blue would give it to the Democrats to fill the Democrats' war chest. And it was a circle where if you were a Republican, part of your tax money, or part of your tax burden, I should say, would be peeled off to support your political adversary.
It was also to support chaos in other countries.
Oh, yes.
To tear other countries' cultures apart.
Mm-hmm.
Rhonda has a great point. And I don't know if you were here when we started, because we first started the EBT conversation, Rhonda, but she says, I can imagine what all those screaming about SNAP payments getting delayed, what would they do if there is a real crisis and a natural disaster or a war striking?
Yeah.
Absolutely. These people right now are on Twitter saying how they're just going to steal food. If their EBT card doesn't work, they're just going to steal it and no one's going to stop them.
Her name's Rona.
Oh, sorry, Rona. I thought it was Rhonda. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I do apologize for that.
Yes.
I'm blind.
It's 100%.
They're screaming about that, and yet if you also see some of these people do an EBT haul on Twitter where they show everything they buy, or on TikTok, they show everything they buy with their SNAP card that week. And I know that's rage bait, because watching them bring in 12 packs of Dr. Pepper and giant steaks and processed foods like crazy. These people are so detached and trying to get clout that they're showing you all the stuff they got with your dollars, with your tax dollars. And yet some of us are eating beans and rice. Some of us are eating ramen noodles to get through a week until payday. Because some of us are going to the food bank to get fresh vegetables. And this is an unbelievable time to be living in right now, that these people are, yes, there are people out there who need baby formula and they need food for their children. And I totally get it. I'm going to donate to the local food bank this week. I encourage everyone to donate, because there are going to be people in need. But when these people are entitled to something and it's taken away in a disaster, or we go to war, those people they'll either be dead because they won't make it in situation, they'll starve to death, or they will be wreaking havoc on regular citizens who are just trying to survive. And they're the ones who are they're the reason you need to have arms and ammo and things like that in a survival situation, because they think they can just steal food. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, Rona, I'm so sorry. I should be wearing glasses. I should be. I just look ridiculous in them.
Oh, yeah. And who knows what else the government well, I'll tell you what the government shutdown is hitting. Talking with veterans that are trying to get stuff done through the VA, it's hitting there. I don't know if it's hitting their hospitals, but the other things the other services that are, it's hitting
people
across
who are seeing therapists or specialized doctors, their appointments are being canceled.
Yeah, hopefully a solution comes to hand. I'm hoping the Democrats just come to the table. Let's vote to get this thing passed. Well, actually, you know what? Or don't. let's seriously, I hope the states take over. I want to see the 10th Amendment take a shot at this country for a minute. Okay.
Well, I'd like to see Trump get on there and say, hey, those of you who need VA services and the government shut down, go to a hospital, go book an appointment with a private person. We will pay that appointment fee when the government opens up. We cannot have our veterans not getting care.
Yep, that's true. Dave says the beans and rice comments are offensive to husbands with Brazilian wives. We really don't give enough deference to those poor guys that have Brazilian wives. The sacrifices.
You mean those lucky guys?
Yeah.
Dave's a lucky man.
A lucky man. Tell Patricia hi, by the way. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they get this all sorted out. I do. It's gonna, I'm still,
Sorry.
Who knows? Maybe it won't matter. Maybe tomorrow the aliens will land and it won't matter. We'll see what happens next. Kegel foo. Remember.
We go from needing food to becoming food.
True. We might become food. Maybe it's the Anunnaki coming back and they're like, all right, where's all our gold? And we'll be like, well, we put it in Fort Knox, but then they took us off the gold standard.
What happened?
We went off the international gold standard and we don't know what happened to it after that. I know they've always said it's still in there, but no one can go verify. So maybe, I don't know, but yes.
So Trump in Taiwan signed a deal over minerals, and I think that's got some people, in Asia upset because he signed a big deal with them, providing minerals to the United States. I think he's lifting tariffs there. So Taiwan is definitely we're getting something out of that visit that's huge. I mean, he's saying trillions of dollars is coming back to the United States.
Good.
That's great. That's great. And the thing is he wants to be the president of peace. This talk of going after Venezuela, it just kind of takes from that. There's got to be another reason besides drug cartels, or trying to change the leadership there. Madami, is that his name? Mamdani?
No, that's going to be the mayor of New York.
Oh, right. He's the other communist.
It's not Maduro.
Yeah, I think it is Maduro.
Yeah, Maduro.
So Maduro has come to the table saying he'll do anything, but he's not going to give up his presidential.
Dave says he thinks it was Thailand, not Taiwan. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what.
Yes, you're right.
I don't know what minerals Taiwan has, but either way,
isn't Taiwan got the chips?
Yes, they are the chip manufacturer du jour. Used to be toys when I was a kid.
So, yes, it's Thailand. You're right, Dave. Thank you for correcting me. Now my stuff isn't working.
Oh, she broke it. Yeah, I don't know. I do hope that we don't go into further war.
Yeah, I don't want to either. I don't
maybe
want
with this month of government shutdown, they're feeling froggy, like they can afford it or something.
I just don't think the United States needs to put boots on the ground anywhere.
Nope.
We have a fantastic Air Force if needed. We have, drones doing a lot of work.
There's nothing we need down there. Okay, sure, but we already buy the crude from them. Just keep doing that. Look, I get it. The Maduro is a true believer in socialism because he's sitting fat and happy and his people starve. He's a true believer, just like every socialist leader always is. So we're not going to convince him out of it. but, and it's not like they have elections per se down there. I mean, sure, they may call them elections, but they
They're not
don't.
legal usually.
But
So Trump is going to meet with Xi at 10 p.m. our time.
Oh, good
Or
times.
Eastern time. So that
So
means
that would be
a half hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be probably 8 or maybe now. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't want us to go commit into any more war. We've done enough. Had enough. Can't afford it. Don't want to do it. Ready for, I don't
And
know.
I'm saying if we do it, we take it. We make it a territory. No more of this. The people have been starving there long enough. They're eating
okay,
their
here's my
zoo
question.
animals, for crying out loud.
The only way I would go for it is if all the people of Venezuela want that.
Oh yeah, I would just say vote to be a territory of the United States.
Because I don't want another circumstance where we go get committed to war forever, where we get to see on the nightly news terrorist actions and uprisings, and then next thing you know, you've got El Salvador or somewhere, all of its ne'er-do-wells move in there because they can continue being ne'er-do-wells and get back in America at the same time. I don't want to see any of that. You know what? If we're going to bomb them, let's bomb them with pornos and blue jeans. Let's just give them.
With what? Why?
Why?
Ruin their society?
That was an old joke talking about the USSR. It would have been more effective to bomb them with pornos and blue jeans. Two things that were outlawed in the USSR.
So I'm just thinking that they better really think it through. If you're going to go in, the people of Venezuela, they are under Maduro's rule. I don't believe he was elected legally, and they're starving. Their money's worth nothing, and they literally have bread lines and things they have to wait in. It's horrendous, and it's a cartel. That's the businesses are all involved. All of this stuff is involved. It used to be a wealthy nation. I think if they voted to be a territory of the United States after a war, I mean, I don't love it either. But I would like the United States to really think it through before we go to war, and what that looks like after.
I don't want
Does it
anything
mean
to
we
do with it.
rebuild that country and leave it open for some other Maduro to take over? Or do we just call it an American territory and have, just like Puerto Rico?
Dave says you don't want
like
that. Dave says you don't want them, Holly. They'll all come here and vote left.
There are plenty of people from Venezuela in the last election that became American citizens, and they absolutely were not voting for illegal immigration.
They voted to become communist from the beginning.
Well, if you bomb them, we rebuild them then? If our government is taking us into a war with them,
I say we focus.
What their final answer is.
Let's focus
conclusion.
Let's focus our energy on building our economy here, on making our people wealthy, giving them job security and security here, and making people so they have the self-esteem that enables them to not get involved in drugs and to get off of drugs. Let's work on that stuff. Let's give that a shot.
And make asylums great again to take care of people who might need help.
Yes.
But if they're going to talk war, if they're going to sit here and talk war, and he's talking about going to Congress with it, I want to know the conclusion, the vision of its conclusion.
Yeah.
Because in the past, it's been, we'll rebuild. For what? So that you can be handing over all of our goods and blood and riches to the Taliban?
Well, not just the Taliban, but also, you've got to think about who the next president's brother-in-law is going to be, who's going to make out like a bandit, or brother or cousin, because that also is how it works out. I mean, remember Dick Cheney, he made Halliburton rich, which he was the ex-CEO of and still carried heavy stock price in. And then after that, it went to Biden's brother, and he got ultra wealthy off of it and made the Bidens ultra rich. And I mean, it's a racket. It's always been a racket, always will be.
And I thought Trump was onto that racket far better. So I want to know why he wants to go to war with them. It's got to be something to do with China.
Is he just saber rattling?
I don't know, because he's brought it up more than once.
Yeah, but I mean, remember all that build up to North Korea?
7 or 8 boats out of the water now. Like,
yeah. I hope it's just saber rattling. That's my hope.
I hope that Trump is just that guy with that tick in his eye that the rest of the world doesn't know what the hell he's capable of. He wants to lead strength through peace and all of that. But are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Did you play a video?
I accidentally pushed the wrong button.
Oh, right as an airplane's going over, it sounds like it's still running.
That was the 31 Atlas coming to get us.
All right. Well,
ooh, also the 31 Atlas. You know where else it came from? Have you ever heard of the WOW signal?
No.
So the WOW signal in like the 70s, a place in Ohio, a college in Ohio that listens to space, picked up a signal that lasted like a half a minute long, right? And then it shut off. They couldn't ever get it back. This thing came from the same place, the same space in space.
Okay.
Telling you.
I'm going to finish my thought, and then I want to see your video.
Sorry.
My only thought is I want Trump to lead peace through strength. I don't know if this is just to have fighters over there. I mean, he sent Gerald Ford, the biggest vessel we have, over towards China when he's going to be meeting with Xi Jinping. Like, is this his way of trying to negotiate with strength? And is this war that he's threatening in Venezuela part of that? Is it just to make him look a little on edge, like they don't know what he's going to do or what he's capable of in order to make them fall in line? I don't know what's going on. I like to trust that he's not going to be a president who brings us into a war. But I don't know. He's already bombed the crap out of Iran. And that seemed to do the trick for now, hopefully. But I don't know. I don't know what the final conclusion is, and I would be interested. And the only way to find out is for him to go to Congress. And I hope that he does, and our Congress actually, Republicans and Democrats, go, you know what, we don't want to go to war, because the people of this country are done with war, I believe.
I hope so.
So what was the video you were showing?
I thought it was a background, but it was actually a video. So yeah, never mind.
Well, do we have a picture of the Atlas?
Oh, 31 Atlas. I'll pull it up on the internet, or 3i Atlas. I'm not sure. 3.
And David says, pay off your high school before building Venezuela. I agree. We need to take care of home first. And the people, and you're right, these drug cartels are nothing if we have a thriving economy where people can get jobs and feel good. They don't need drugs to escape. Drug abuse goes down. Alcoholism goes down when the economy is up. I mean, it's when housing is available and people can actually afford things with the job they do. Like right now, we are in the worst time in the world for somebody who's trying to get a leg up. It's like interest rates knock you down. Housing availability is knocking you down. Jobs aren't paying more. Food isn't getting any cheaper. All that stuff has to be settled. Let people get settled in their lives. Let's not go to war. I certainly don't want to send my kid off to war,
No, no, not at all.
especially in a tiny country like Venezuela. For what? Why are we going into Mexico and going and get those terrorists off the borders of Mexico? Because that'd be considered an act of war.
Yeah.
But if it's enough to go into Venezuela, why on earth wouldn't we do it in Mexico? Help me understand.
We got to do, yeah. I don't think war's going to serve us at all.
No, it's just going to make us more broke. We're $37 trillion in debt and counting. We can't afford to go to war. And I don't think any American citizens want to give their child up over this.
No. No, no. All right. Okay, so that's 3-1 Atlas.
Is that like a rendering? Because there's no way that is an asteroid.
That's
it literally has lights.
That's the spaceship off Independence Day.
Gosh. Golly.
Oh. No, I'll show you the 3-1 Atlas now. Well, I'll show you. They've got a lot of different that was awful. That was wrong of me. So they think it looks like this.
Can you make that bigger?
Yeah.
So again, it's like an artist rendering.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would think so.
How genius would it be, though, to have an alien ship just look like space debris?
If I was to build an attack vessel for another world across the cosmos, that's how I would do it.
I mean, it's genius.
See, that's where it's flying right now. It is, see, we're here, and it's here. That's its perihelios. That's the closest it comes to the sun. And yes, it looks like it does change direction a little bit. Here, I'll make that bigger.
So how close can you get to the sun without burning up?
I don't know. Probably depends on what you're made out of. Apparently, you can get at least this close, Mercury.
Yeah, but I mean, no one could land on Mercury.
No. How close could we get?
Well, how close could technology get?
I know that Venus that the USSR and the USA has sent probes to Venus, and they didn't last very long on Venus, but that's because Venus has like
that's the clouds,
acid atmosphere, and it's very hot there. But it's very hot there because of its acid atmosphere.
Yeah, the clouds there would crush anything.
Not on Venus.
Are so heavy and close to the ground. Venus, yeah, they've got their atmosphere is actually thick.
It's very thick,
like
yes.
vapor.
And it's got an acid atmosphere. It's hydrochloric acid or something, I think. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I looked it up. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. That's the aliens. They're doing a flyby just to see what's what.
Hey, does anybody off topic know where helium comes from?
Where helium comes from?
Yeah, how's it made?
Well, it's
Or
made in well, the molecule is made in suns, like all molecules.
Because I had somebody tell me that NASA controls all the helium. And I thought, why? It's created helium.
I mean, you can pull it out of the atmosphere and there's different ways that they get hydrogen and helium and
The sun
oxygen and
produces
separate them.
helium,
Yeah, the sun makes it.
but how do we get it on Earth?
We separate it out of the atmosphere.
The sun through nuclear fusion and Earth's crust through radioactive decay. The helium we use commercially is a non-renewable resource that is extracted from underground deposits, primarily natural gas fields.
Yeah, that's how.
That's kind of big deal considering helium is mainly used for, balloons and stuff.
Mainly used to make your voice sound funny on a birthday party.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
produced underground and then extracted. Why is it so cheap?
Dave says because it's mined in Russia. Jeff says, isn't it an element? It's probably a byproduct in another process. It's probably a byproduct like in natural gas. When they get it, that's just a byproduct that they capture and then sell.
It's natural occurring helium migrates upward and becomes trapped in underground pockets alongside natural gas deposits. Commercial concentrations of helium are typically found in natural gas fields. It's extracted as a byproduct during natural gas processing. Let's say, what happens if we run out of helium? If we were to run out of helium, critical uses like MRI and scientific research would be severely impacted because there's no substitute for liquid helium's supercooling properties. And the price of helium would skyrocket, making many of its current uses, including party balloons and welding, prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, we use it in welding out at work sometimes, very rarely, but we do.
See, I didn't realize the MRI, I just had one, by the way, require liquid helium to cool their superconducting magnets. Without it, they overheat, making them unusable. Scientific research stops. Experiments that require extremely low temperatures, such as those at the Large Hadron Collider, would have to stop because helium is essential for cooling magnets.
Hey,
industrial processes disrupted.
That's fine. Last time they did that, they sent us into this new multiverse that's getting kind of scary. Dave says it's rare on Earth, yet plentiful throughout the galaxy. Jupiter has a lot of it, I recall. Yeah. Helium is so in the stars, they start out with hydrogen, and then as hydrogen builds, it keeps making these next molecules, and helium's in that. I think helium's the second in that chain. I think it's hydrogen, helium. I don't know. Don't ask me my periodic table, but then maybe carbon, whatever, on down the line.
It's just interesting that helium, it is naturally created in two ways: through nuclear fission in stars like our sun, and from radioactive decay of heavy elements like uranium and thorium within the Earth's crust.
Technically, I believe it's released. Not created, probably released.
It exists in vast amounts in the universe. It is finite and non-renewable resource on Earth, harvested from natural gas deposits where it is accumulated over billions of years. There's no way to produce helium artificially in large quantities.
Probably.
In order to produce it, you'd have to create a nuclear reaction, such as a fusion reactor, which is not yet a reality for commercial production. I just thought of that because somebody had said that a lot of the helium on our planet goes through the NASA. And I was like, why would NASA need it? And to be fair, this person was a flat earther.
Yeah, it goes. And so it goes hydrogen.
It's helium that keeps the satellites up. That's what this person said.
Okay, yeah, flat earther. Yeah, it goes hydrogen, then it turns into helium, and then lithium, then beryllium, then boron, then carbon, then nitrogen, then oxygen, then fluoride, then neon. So yeah, it's atomic weight. So in suns, as suns burn, it fuses atoms together and makes all these different elements and then explodes. Well, ours
Gotcha.
won't.
See, we all learned something today.
Yeah, you guys, and you
Hopefully a
learned
couple
something
things.
from one of the dumbest human beings you've ever listened to. But yes, that's my
Okay,
understanding of it.
rude.
No, you learned it from me. But yes.
So I want to talk about something that's going on in the state here pretty soon. We are going to be having a referendum go out regarding Utah's redistricting efforts. The Republican Party wants it to be left alone and in the hands of the people and not a judge to decide redistricting. And per our constitution, we've got redistricting just came up. They're trying to figure out how to draw these new maps. We don't do that usually. We wait until the census year to do our districting, and judges decided based on 1,000 people's referendum or something. We're still learning, but decided to allow for new maps to be drawn right in 2025, which is 2026 is when it's going to start. So we're going to do a referendum of our own and start gathering signatures all around the state of Utah. So if you're interested in that, I have shared it on this page that explains it more. It's just going to be underneath this post, but please read about it. And if it's something you'd like to help us with, more information is going to come out next month. And next month meaning like, I think the election day or the day after. So we've got to gather signatures and you'll probably see us everywhere. And if you're interested in helping, we'd love your help. Also,
Holly
your
be
election
looking
is
we'll be looking for people to take possession of the packets and gather signatures as well. If you want to volunteer to step up to do that as your civic duty, that'd be helpful.
It would be awesome. And you have to stay with your packet and you have to be responsible for the signatures you gather legally. And then you turn them in. We'll have packets available next week. Next Tuesday is election night. I hope all of you are registered to vote and are prepared to vote for your local races in Twila City and Grantsville and Stansbury and Gerda. Like you should have had your ballot already in the mail. And so make sure they have ballot drop boxes are all over the place. In Stansbury, they're at the fire station. They have one in the Twila County building, right outside the building. In Grantsville,
it's just a drive-through.
Oh no, they're the drop boxes. You can just go and drop it.
Yeah, it's just a drive-through. You just drive right through it. It's easy. You don't have to get out of your car. It's super easy to get to. Grantsville's at the fire station, right? Or is it at the city building?
Yeah.
So the fire station.
The fire station. And you can also vote in person, I believe, at the fire station and in Twila County's building. And maybe even the city. Go to the Twila County Clerk website or Facebook page. That information should be there. But if you don't want to use the mail, just use your ballot and drop it in a drop box. At the fire station in Stansbury is where theirs is at. Drop boxes are usually in a lit location with security cameras and things like that. So your ballot is safe, and they're emptied every day, I believe, by 2 members of the county clerk's office. So hopefully you'll vote. We need good people running these cities, our local municipalities. They affect your life far more than the federal government does. So I hope you're all planning on voting. That's Tuesday. And Jeff says, if you leave it to the people of Utah, the side with the best salesman will win. And best doesn't always mean honest. Jeff, I totally agree. But we need it to be constitutional, and we also need it to be more than 1,000 people deciding for 3 million. And
well, it's better than It's better than a judge who wants to handicap the Republican Party in Utah, which is what it's looking like we have right now.
It absolutely is looking that way. And this judge could have made a decision on this months and months ago. She waited until now, and it's just causing the party to spend a lot of money and a lot of time during the holidays to try to get these. So we are looking for businesses who are welcoming for people to set up and gather signatures. If you know a business or you own a business where you wouldn't mind someone set up just asking for signatures outside, that's always welcome. Just PM us in this group, or you can reach out to me through this group or on my Facebook page, or go to the Tooele County Republican Party Facebook page, the public one, and you can PM me there also. And we'd love to just have any support we can, and anybody willing to get signatures on behalf of the party and the rights of the people of Utah. That is something, we don't want a judge deciding for us, or a short little referendum of 1,000 people to get a judge's decision on this. There was a board put together that actually had our senator that was the chair of that board, as well as my representative from the House, Merrill Nelson, was on that board. Democrats were on that board when they did redistricting in 2020. And we didn't get what we wanted in our county, but we got, I believe that they did the redistricting as fair as they could. It is based on population. I think we should be knowing who's legal and who's not at the next census, because the whole point of letting people come over that border was to add bodies to counties, to add seats to states, fair or not. Now, one of our senators was Dan Thatcher. He still is our senator, but he left the party and resigned, and he's gone to the Forward Party. Well, he has just put out word that he is resigning as a senator, and now the Forward Party is going to have a special election to choose someone to replace him for this session. So it's kind of an okie doke. Why not just resign and let his party pick? But no, he's gone to the Forward Party. He's going to let them choose. We as Republicans are planning on running quite a few people in that election to win. We're running to win. But again, we'd like to know what our districts are. And I'd love it if Tooele County got its own senator. We have 2. And they break up our county. We're big enough. We should have 1. But I've never, we've put maps forward asking for that in the redistricting group, as well as the independent redistricting group. There was an independent one made, and we submitted our maps to them as well, and they still didn't choose our map. So we'd really like to get this figured out. And some of these maps are breaking up our congressional seat. And it's very, very, yes, Jeff, I agree. It was an obvious setup. It's very weird to have us with Salt Lake City and Davis County and not with St. George, or rural all the way down, because we have a lot more in common with rural counties than we do with Salt Lake City and Davis County. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's being considered when they're talking about redistricting. And Celeste would still be our representative, just unless she doesn't change where she lives. She'd have to probably be running for a seat down south. So it's a lot of chaos to throw in the middle of a decade with so much else going on. And we are planning for caucus also. I hope you're registered as a Republican. I hope you're staying tuned. Stay tuned for caucus plans. We are going to be updating you about caucus often. It's a lot of county races coming up. And if you're interested in running for a county seat, just reach out to me if you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, reach out to the Democrat Party. They also have a Facebook page, but reach out to me. If you're a Republican, we have a couple offices up this year with the county clerk, the sheriff, the auditor, the assessor, and 2 county council seats, which one is in Grantsville and the other was Stockton, more south Tooele area. So, and then of course we've got our representatives for the House up. So if anyone's looking to run for office, I mean, we have a great county clerk. We've got great people in this seat. But if you think you can do better and you want to go for it and go through caucus and convention, reach out to me. I'd love to help you out and talk to you about it. Our job is to help let everyone get to know who's running for these seats. And as my job in the party is to make sure that candidates are getting very well prepared for what's coming and how to run for the seat and how to do the best they can. So if you are planning a run for something, just rather than tell us how terrible you think this person is at their job, in this county, that doesn't go over well with voters. Tell the voters what you can do and what you offer the job and that why you're qualified for it, rather than bashing the person currently doing it. I find most delegates especially would rather know what you're capable of and what you bring to the table than telling them how bad their vote was of the person that's in the seat now.
Hopefully all this matters and the aliens don't land. And if the aliens land, get a hold of me. We'll group together and try to form a resistance.
Are you sure you want to resist though?
Well, it depends. I might not.
Maybe they'll be like, hey, we're here to take over your government. And the people are like, oh.
I'll give them a shot. Go ahead.
How much of our money are you going to take from us? Oh, we're not going to take your money. We're just going to control the government.
Go ahead and do it. Gleep glorp. Take care of it. Anyways, that's the show. We got to cut you loose now.
We love you guys. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you, Jordan, for tuning in all the time. And of course, Jeff and Rona and
Dave.
Dave and Fred.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yes.
We'll be back
next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. And everyone stay safe. Remember, if a hot chick comes to your door chewing bubble gum and she's abnormally tall, kind of looks like she floats, don't let her in. Don't let her in. If anyone has seen Mars Attacks. But that's it. That's the show. You guys have a good night.